few months to find that out, who was obviously in the jazz world, gypsy jazz particularly, and quite a remarkable composer and musician. That's the first time I really heard of him. Later on I bought a couple of LPs, but at the time I thought they sounded a little bit tinny compared to the rock and roll sounds I was getting used to. So he kind of went into the back of the labyrinth in my mind.
I was going to say, did you have aspirations to play like that in those days?
Not at all. No, not at all. I was more interested in the rock and roll style guitar.
Yeah.
I'd come out of a sort of folk blues jazz background, traditional jazz, but then I was into electric guitar, and there was great sounds coming out of the USA.
Yeah. So when did the gypsy jazz thing begin to become attractive in a way that you wanted to be involved in it?
In 2001, I was recording an acoustic album with a full band, but rather than on electric, on an acoustic album, which was really prompted by some comments by fans who thought I should head in that direction because I was using it more and more on stage. And at that time, I heard the Rosenberg Trio, and I thought, wow, that is great. And that turned me back on to Django Reinhardt, and I started listening to Django. And in fact, for that album, I bought a gypsy jazz style guitar, similar to the one I've got here, except it's actually nothing like it, because it was an old black Favino, very beaten up, but a great sound. And I used that on probably all but 2 tracks on the album. It sounded different, it had a lot of character, and it got a great response from the public, I'm glad to say. But it was that turning point, I suppose, got me back on to listening to Django Reinhardt and gypsy jazz in general. And a friend of mine who's played in some of my albums, Gary Taylor, we started having little sessions in the studio just to try to learn some of the tunes, which we almost did, and started having a lot of fun.